Tell me the person that wants to defeat Tinubu and how he will do it.
Lines for pre-election and election.
Good Lord, Jonathan is in the picture now.
In 2027, many Nigerians will step out of their homes and head to the polls to decide the country's future. But here is the question. Do you know how this electoral committee carry out this exercise such that one person only votes once, fake voters aren't used, the results aren't changed, and people don't vote in the wrong polling unit? The answer is technology. In this video, I will break down the tech behind Nigeria's election in the simplest way possible. We'll be looking at the major tech devices used by the INEC officials, what happens on the day of election, what happens after the day of election, and how these elections can be rigged or manipulated. Let's get started.
That they will check whether you are the one that is on the picture.
No idea. It's something that we must use in this country, because without it, especially me, I will not go and vote.
Now, let's look at the tech products that are used in this electoral process. There are three major tech products that are used in this process. The first is the PVC, the second is SCR, and the third is the BVAS. Now, let's get to the first one. The PVC is also called the permanent voter's card. It contains your biometric and everything you need to vote. Inside it is a tiny electronic chip that contains your name, your date of birth, your voter ID number, your photograph, and also your polling unit. The permanent voter's card has a specific and special number. This number is called the VIN. The VIN is also known as the voter's identification number. This is a unique number that prevents you or prevents any citizen from voting multiple times and identifies the citizen as a single personnel, which makes it difficult for two people to have the same voter identity. Now, let's talk about the SCR. The SCR is also known as Smart Card Reader. Before BVAS existed, this smart card reader was used to carry out this electoral process. It functions to read the PVC, verify if it's genuine, and check your fingerprints. So basically, it just verifies whether a PVC is genuine or it's a counterfeit and accredits the person for voting. But here's the thing, there are few issues with the SCR. For example, elderly people who have worn out fingerprints won't be able to vote simply because their biometric isn't scanned. Not just elderly people, even younger people who could not get their fingerprints verified wouldn't be able to vote because that fingerprint was not verified. Millions of Nigerians won't be able to vote because the fingerprint was not verified. One other thing with the SCR is that it could not upload election results. This is where BVAS comes in. BVAS is also known as the Bimodal Voters Accreditation System. It was inducted and properly used in the 2023 general election. The word bimodal there actually means two methods of verification. The first method is the fingerprint method, and the second method is the facial recognition method. So this prevents cases of people who could not vote simply because their fingerprint wasn't working. They can now use the second method to verify their identity, which is the facial recognition method. Therefore, when voters want to carry out their rights, they either verify their identity by their fingerprint or they verify their identity through their facial features. This is actually a major improvement over the smart card reader. Now, here's why the BVAS is actually different from the SCR and actually offers more improvement than the SCR. It can also upload results to the INEC Results Viewing Center. And that reminds me, the INEC Results Viewing Center is also the new system of transparency that was included in the 2023 general election, where results could be uploaded to the portal and can be reviewed by the people. Now, let's talk about what happens on the day of election. Before election actually takes place, there are different polling units that are assigned in different parts of the country, and different citizens have their specific polling unit and are registered on a particular BVAS. That means if you are a registered voter, you are locked to a particular polling unit on the BVAS. That means you can't go and vote elsewhere because you are locked to that particular polling unit, and it is also identified on your PVC. Now let's examine what's on the PVC. If you look at the top of the photograph, there is a code. The first 2 digits code there is your state code. The second 2 digits code there is your local government code. The third one is your ward code, and the fourth one is your polling unit code. So the polling unit code is assigned to that BVAS, and you cannot go and vote elsewhere. So on the day of election, voters arrive with their PVCs and they come and get accreditation. And as we said, voters cannot go to another polling unit to vote because they are locked to a specific polling unit. Because if one person has voted there and it goes to 5 other polling units to go and vote, he has added 5 more votes to the general electoral results, which is not what we want. So after that, they verify their PVC, and that is done through the use of the BVAS. It checks if the card is correct, it checks if the polling unit is correct, and all other things that need to be checked. The third step is the biometric verification. This is where we use either the fingerprint or the facial recognition. So for the fingerprint, the citizen will put his or her finger on the BVAS, and that is checked with the stored fingerprint in the INEC database. Once the person's fingerprint isn't able to be verified, they use the facial recognition in place of that as a backup method. And once the voter is accredited, the voter is given a ballot paper, and from this point on, this process becomes manual and less tech, if you know what I mean. And that is what I feel is dragging us behind as a country. We have come so far and this process have been electronic. Let's take the next step and also make it electronic. But from the ballot paper to the rest, it is all manual. Now let's talk about what happens after the election has actually taken place. Most people think they just count the vote and they announce, but that's not exactly it. Let me explain to you. The first one, we do the physical counting. After voting closes, the electoral officials will open the ballot boxes and start counting the ballot papers manually. For example, they will say Party A gets 100,000 votes, Party B gets 90,000 votes, Party C gets 50,000 votes. That's not what's on the polling unit. The polling units, are very, very small. So it's in the hundreds or it's in thousands, but not in the hundreds of thousands. After the ballot papers are counted manually, then the officials proceed to recording these results. And these results are recorded in a specific form, and this form is called EC8A forms. It contains the number of accredited voters in that polling unit, the number of votes casted in that polling unit, and the number of votes for the particular candidate, and also the total result. And here's the special part. On the third step, the BVAS take a photo of this result and upload it to the INEC results viewing portal. This in a way provides a two-way system of verifying the results. The first one is the physical form, which is in the polling unit. The second one is uploaded online to the reviewing portal, so it reduces any form of alteration or altercation of the results in any way or form. But that doesn't mean they can't do it before they snap the result though. But now here's a slight issue with the uploading of the thing. If there are cases of poor network or poor connectivity, this thing will not be able to upload to the INEC servers. But the good side is that it can still be stored locally on the BVAS internal storage, and when there is connectivity, it will be able to upload to the servers. Why does this matter actually? It matters because before, the physical results will have to go through different stages before arriving at the collation centers, and different things might have happened to it. It might have gotten snatched, adulterated it, or something. But now, immediately the results are recorded, they are captured and sent to the server immediately. That provides transparency and makes it hard for you to adulterate or change the results. Now let's talk about the interesting part. How can the elections be manipulated or rigged even with the presence of these good technologies that we believe will provide security and provide transparency to the electoral exercise? Well, one way this can be rigged is creating logistics problem. That is, making sure that these technological devices are not working properly. And when these things are not working properly, the morale of the people is going to reduce.
You that organize the party, you are in a different place. This is not a real polling unit. Interview that lady. She needs to answer why she's here.
And when the morale reduces, many people will go home, reduces the number of voters for a particular party. It's all strategy here. Another popular method is the use of thuggery and violence. We've had cases where they say they snatch ballot paper. They are scared because we have thugs around that are causing havoc in the polling units and all. This too is also a tactic to manipulate and just ruin everything. And also, since the balloting process is still manual, there is room for ghost voters. The last and final piece is vote buying. Due to the country state and the country level of poverty and the way people are suffering, many people are susceptible to vote buying after they have been given palliatives or given something during campaign or given money on the day of election where they are voting. Just take this 5,000 votes for this political party. Many people are bought over just because of that little token. This should not be so, and this is not the right way. But these are the ways politicians rig the election to their favor. These are the ways we end up having corrupt and bad leaders ruling us today. And it's a wrong thing to give out your votes just because you are giving a little token or whatsoever. You should be able to know who is the right man and vote for that person that you think is the right person for the job. Don't let your vote be bought just because you are given a little amount of money. The 2027 presidential election is coming. Vote who you think is the right man. Don't let anybody buy your vote. If you like this video, subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comment section below about all these things that we have spoken about. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.